had to look for accommodation a couple of times. On one occasion I was very new to the experience and needed accommodation, and the second time I was just looking for accommodation as an alternative and didn't end up getting accommodation the second time.
I had to look for accommodation twice. That was first when I came here and then after 1 year.
When I started looking for accommodation, I accessed various different resources. I started off on the internet and was looking at general websites, private websites like realestate.com.au.
And there are other websites like real estate agents websites and property.coms.
Then I discovered the UniSA webpage, which I hadn't seen before, and found the rental database, which without word of a lie is an amazing resource, and it's becoming such a useful tool because it provides so much information on so many different properties and is really accessible and also very useful.
Some of the sources which I would recommend to students would be the newspapers, the internet and the rental database, which has a good source of information and also provides a good range of prices which students can actually look at.
When considering which type of property to select, we have options. You have student hostels, student apartments, you have private rentals. It's important to keep in mind what you're looking for.
One of the major things that I considered was the issue of price and the issue of convenience. I didn't want to be too far away from the university, so I needed the convenience to walk to the university. I wanted that convenience.
So if you are going to be studying a particular campus, do you want to live near your campus? If you're looking for work, where you might be working, what your price range is, what type of accommodation you're looking for, and what you're willing to get out of the experience. So when choosing between hostels, student apartments, keeping in mind the price is really important, the location and the security of the location. Also keeping in mind if you're studying at different campuses, maybe more than one, the transport options. But I know that definitely is very useful to actually have a list, a physical list where you tick things off.
I used a checklist which was provided by the university. I found it on the rental database website, and I used that to actually help me look at the houses.
When I first move into a rental property, I make sure that I'm very clear with the landlord on what's expected and what the responsibilities are, just so that I can make sure I look after the property.
I looked for the damaged things. So one thing is good if you take photos. If it is a dated photo, if you can take it like that, it's really good. And if something happens, you can claim that it was there before I moved in.
Some people can feel like the landlord is somebody you can't really ask questions to, but I think that's the opposite. I think you should definitely be the one who's asking the questions. That way you're very clear in everything and there's no doubt or uncertainty.
Once you build that relationship, that early trust with the landlord, then it's easier throughout the process.
I think a landlord who you're friends with is more likely to help you out quicker, so it definitely is worthwhile becoming friends and making the effort.
Everybody should know about their rights and obligations when they sign an agreement.
The Tenancies branch actually does offer a website which has a large range of information on there. And I think it's essential for every student to go on there to find out what their rights and responsibilities are.
There's always an accommodation officer in the university which you can go to and find out that information if you're not sure.
Living in share houses, there are a lot of positives and also things to be careful of. I think they're great because they offer the opportunity to be exposed to lots of different people.
You meet people from different countries. Like first, the people who live in my house are people from China, Taiwan, Malaysia and India. So you get to see people who live in different countries and you make friends with those people.
It's a great opportunity to meet new people and make friends, but it's also a challenge sometimes because you have people living in a small environment together, and because of the diversity it may cause some challenges.
It's really important to tell them what you want, what your rules are and what your principles are, and if you don't tell them, it can make conflicts.
From the very start, to be open and clear, to be accepting, to be tolerant, but also to make time to enjoy the experience as well, because you can gain a lot. You can not only learn how to make new foods from different people, or you can maybe even pick up a new language and new traditions and customs, but you can also gain friendships and gain long-term friendships. So I think it's something which poses a lot of benefits and I think is a really positive experience in most cases.